you're seeing this, that means that you may need a little help on still working on isolating a variable, like kind of like we did in Unit 1. So we're going to title this Rewriting Equations in Slope Intercept form. All right, and let's just remember that slope intercept form is when you get y by itself. All right, let's see. Let's start off a form that's an equation that's in standard form. Let's try. You know what? Yeah, let's do that. All right. So the best thing to do is identify what you have in your problem. All right. So we have a variable term. We have a different variable term. And then we have our constant term. Now, the whole goal is to get the y by itself. But first, we must isolate the variable term that has the y with it. All right, so first we got to get that negative 2y by itself. So let's go back over what we learned before. To get the variable by itself, if we want to move the variable term, we move its opposite, right? So that's a positive 4x. We use a negative 4x on both sides. All right. Now, the 4x's that I moved, the side that I moved it from, remember they cancel out. All right. And we have the negative 2y comes down. Equal sign always come down. Now, there's a reason why I did not put this constant term with this variable term. They are not like terms, so I can't put those together. So I'm going to put them side by side. Now look at it. I want this y equals mx plus b. So I mean I want the x variable term to come first before the constant. All right, before that constant term. So we say equal negative 4x because of bring the 12 down. Now you got to have a sign between two terms because 12 is positive. Say plus. All right, we're almost done. So remember, our goal is to get y by itself. So now we got to remove that coefficient, which is what? Negative 2. And you move a negative 2 coefficient by dividing by that very same coefficient. And we divide everything by that coefficient. The negative 2's cancel. Y is by itself, because I see the equal sign. Negative 4 divided by negative 2 is a positive 2. X still with it. 12 divided by negative 2 is a negative 6. You have isolated the y variable, and this is in slope intercept form. All right, let's do another one. Let's do one that looks kind of different. So we have 2y plus 8x equal 1. Same as before. Let's identify what we have in here. All right, so we have, what colors did I use? Okay. We have 8x is a variable term, 2y is a different variable term, and just 1 is a constant term. So remember, our goal is to get the y by itself. So we want this variable term here by itself. So we got to move everything else, our other variable terms, to the other side of the equation. Move this 8x to this side. All right, let's do it. So we have to move the 8x. We need the opposite of 8x, which is negative 8x. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other side. and the opposite. So we draw that line there. And because we cannot combine the like terms, that's why we didn't put those, because they're not like terms, we put those kind of, we didn't put those under each other. All right, I'll just say it like that. So let's do the problem. Next step, 2y comes down. The 2y comes down. The 8x is canceled because we moved them. Equal sign comes down. And remember, these are not like terms, so we can't put them together, so we just line them up. X term goes first. So negative 8x and 1 comes down. But because that's a positive one, we say plus. Now, we have to get the y by itself, right? So we divide everything by that coefficient. We divide everything by that 2. Everything by the 2. All right, our final answer is, because the 2's cancel here, y is equal to negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4 with the x plus a half. All right, or it's acceptable to write this as y is equal to negative 4x plus, now 1 over 2 is 0.5. Now, if it's a fraction, you can change to a decimal as long as it is a constant term. But if you are in a variable term, leave it as a fraction. So if that was a fraction here, you'll leave it as a fraction. Because it's a constant term, leave it as a decimal. It's perfectly fine. All right. Let's move on. Let's do one more. Let's do two y equals negative 1x. Let me write that a little better than that. Negative 1x minus 8. All right. So let's identify what we have. 2y is a variable term. Negative 1x is a different variable term. And negative 8 is a constant term. All right, now, our goal is to get y by itself. Well, we got some good news. The variable term for that y is already by itself. So we don't have to move another variable term. The only thing we have to move is what? The coefficient, that 2. So let's divide everything by 2. Everything by 2. All right, so the 2's cancel. Y comes down. Negative 1 over 2. Leave that as a fraction because that is right here with the variable term. Leave it there. Negative 8 over 2 is negative 4. All right. And you have y by itself. All right. So again, let's say it again. If you get a fraction for your constant term, it's okay to change it to a decimal. If you get a fraction that's with your x, that's a variable term, leave it as a fraction. All right.